My friends, there are moments in our lives when we can sense that something bigger is happening. We may not see the full picture yet, but deep in our spirit, we know God is preparing us for a breakthrough. Today, I want to share with you 6 signs that God is about to change your life forever. When God is about to change your life forever, one of the most obvious signs is discomfort. Life that once felt familiar and easy begins to shift. You might feel restless in a job that used to bring satisfaction, or uneasy in routines that once seemed comfortable. This discomfort is not meant to harm you. It is meant to awaken you. God often uses seasons of unease to prepare your spirit, to nudge you out of what is temporary, and to remind you that He has something greater in store for your future. Discomfort shows up as a signal, not a punishment. It may feel like things are falling apart, but in reality, they are falling into place. When your comfort zone is disrupted, you are less likely to settle and more likely to seek God's guidance. That stirring in your soul is God whispering that you cannot remain where you are. He is preparing you for transformation, even if you do not yet see the full picture. The unease is His way of saying, there is more ahead, keep moving forward. Think of how a seed grows into a plant. Before it can bloom, it must break through the soil. That breaking, that pushing through the dirt is uncomfortable, but necessary. In the same way, discomfort in your life is the spiritual soil breaking apart to allow new growth. God is stretching your faith, strengthening your character, and building endurance. What feels like pressure is actually preparation. He is equipping you to handle the blessing that He has already written into your destiny. Many times, people mistake discomfort as a sign that they are on the wrong path, but more often, it is proof that they are on the right one. When God is moving, He rarely leaves us where we are comfortable. If you feel unsettled in your heart, it may not be the enemy working against you. It may be God moving you forward. Trust that the unease you feel is not to destroy you, but to elevate you to a new level of life and faith. Even in Scripture, we see this truth. Moses experienced discomfort when God called him to lead Israel out of Egypt. He felt unqualified, unsure, and deeply uneasy, yet that discomfort pushed him into obedience, and through him, God changed history. The same is true for you. If God is allowing restlessness, it is because He sees a leader, a warrior, and a testimony within you. He is shifting your position to match His plan, even if it doesn't make sense right now. Discomfort also strips away false security. When everything feels stable, we rely on ourselves. But when things begin to shake, we are reminded that our true strength and stability come from God alone. It is in the moments of unease that prayer becomes deeper, worship becomes real, and faith becomes stronger. God allows discomfort to remind us that our foundation is not the job, the relationship, or the routine we lean on. It is Him and Him alone. If you feel uncomfortable right now, know that you are in transition. You are in the in-between space where God is breaking old patterns to make room for new blessings. Just like a caterpillar feels the pressure of the cocoon before becoming a butterfly, you too must experience the tightness before the release. This stage of discomfort is temporary, but it is also essential. Without it, you would not be able to step into the fullness of what God has designed for your life. Discomfort also helps separate you from what no longer belongs in your future. Friendships may drift, doors may close, and opportunities may end, but not because you are being punished. God removes what cannot travel with you into the next chapter. It may feel painful, but it is divine pruning. When you feel uncomfortable, ask God, "What are you teaching me?" rather than "Why is this happening to me?" In that shift of perspective, you'll see His hand moving everything for your good. So, when you sense the walls of comfort crumbling, don't panic. Instead, recognize it as preparation. God never wastes pain, and He never allows discomfort without purpose. This unease is your training ground. It is His way of saying that you have outgrown your old season and are being prepared for new beginnings. What feels like a breaking point is often the birthplace of breakthrough. Discomfort is not the end of your story. It is the evidence that God is about to change your life forever. When God is preparing to change your life forever, one of the most powerful signs is that divine alignments begin to happen. People cross your path who seem to be exactly who you need at the right moment. Opportunities appear that you never sought out but perfectly match your prayers and desires. These alignments are not coincidences. They are orchestrated by the hand of God. He moves in unseen ways, arranging conversations, connections, and events that prepare you for the future He has designed. Every detail is carefully aligned for your good and His purpose. Divine alignments often come as subtle shifts. A chance encounter with someone who shares wisdom, a door that unexpectedly opens, or even a rejection that leads you to something greater. All of these are God's ways of aligning your life. We may not recognize it immediately, but looking back, it becomes clear that God was directing every step. The people and opportunities that suddenly appear are His way of confirming that your journey is being divinely guided. When God is moving, alignment becomes evidence of His presence. Think about how Ruth met Boaz in the Bible. Ruth's choice to stay loyal to Naomi seemed small, but it was a divine alignment that positioned her for destiny. Meeting Boaz was not random, it was part of God's plan for her to step into a new future. The same is true for us today. God places people in our path who encourage, support, and help us grow into the next season. These relationships are not ordinary. They are divine connections designed to move us closer to our calling. Sometimes divine alignments are revealed through timing. You might apply for a job at the exact moment a position opens, or meet someone who introduces you to an opportunity you never imagined. God's timing is always perfect, and when He wants to change your life, He aligns circumstances in a way that no human effort could accomplish. This alignment is not luck, it is providence. It shows that God is actively involved, preparing everything to ensure that His will is fulfilled in your life. Divine alignment also means that closed doors are part of the process. When something doesn't work out, it is often because God is protecting you from the wrong connection or opportunity. He is aligning you with something better that matches His vision for your future. At first, it may feel disappointing, but in time you will see that those no's were necessary. They redirected you toward the right yes. Trusting God in these moments allows you to recognize His hand in the alignments that eventually lead to breakthrough. These alignments often bring clarity. When God aligns your steps, confusion begins to lift. You see patterns forming, and you realize that everything is connected. Even setbacks and delays start to make sense as part of a larger plan. God's alignments bring peace to your spirit because you understand that you are not walking blindly. You are being divinely guided. Every person who enters your life, every door that opens, and every opportunity that appears is a piece of the puzzle that leads to transformation. It's important to pay attention to these alignments. Sometimes they arrive quietly, disguised as ordinary moments. A phone call, a simple conversation, or an unexpected meeting can carry the seeds of your future. When God is aligning things, nothing is wasted. Even the smallest encounter can be part of His greater plan. By staying sensitive to His leading and prayerful in your decisions, you can recognize when something is more than coincidence. These alignments are God's way of moving you into the place where change is about to unfold. Divine alignments are also a reminder that we are not meant to walk this journey alone. God uses people as instruments of His will. He sends mentors, friends, partners, and even strangers to play a role in our story. Some may guide us, others may challenge us, and still others may open doors we never could have opened ourselves. Each alignment is a testimony of God's faithfulness and His ability to bring the right people into our lives at the exact right time. He never makes mistakes in His connections, so when you begin to see unusual opportunities appearing and new people stepping into your life, recognize these as signs of divine alignment. God is positioning everything to prepare you for change. He is setting the stage for your breakthrough, ensuring that every piece is in place before the shift happens. These alignments prove that you are not forgotten, that heaven is working behind the scenes, and that your steps are being ordered. What feels sudden to you has been orchestrated by God all along. Your life is about to transform. When God is about to change your life forever, one of the clearest signs is that your spiritual awareness begins to grow. You start noticing His presence in ways you may have overlooked before. Prayer becomes more meaningful. Scripture seems to speak directly to your heart, and small daily events feel like divine whispers. This heightened awareness is God drawing you closer to Him so that you can recognize His guidance. He knows that a new season requires a stronger connection, and so He awakens your spirit to hear His voice more clearly. As your spiritual awareness grows, you begin to discern things differently. Situations that once seemed confusing now come with clarity because you are more in tune with God's wisdom. You feel nudges in your heart about decisions, sensing peace when you are aligned with His will and unease when you are not. This sensitivity is not a coincidence, it is preparation. God sharpens your spiritual senses because He knows that where He is taking, you will require discernment, wisdom, and the ability to recognize His direction quickly and confidently. Sometimes this growth in awareness comes through stillness. You may feel drawn to spend more time in prayer, meditation, or worship. These moments allow you to quiet distractions and focus on God's voice. In the silence, you realize that He has been speaking all along. You are simply more open to listening. This desire for intimacy with Him is a strong sign that transformation is near. God increases your awareness so that when He opens doors and shifts your path, you are prepared to follow without hesitation or doubt. Spiritual awareness also makes you more alert to the battles around you. You begin to sense when something is not right spiritually, and you rely on prayer as your first weapon. This growth reveals that you are being prepared for a new level, because every new level comes with new challenges. But rather than being overwhelmed, you feel empowered, because you know that God is equipping you. Awareness becomes your shield, helping you recognize the enemy's schemes and reminding you that God has already given you the victory through faith. As you become more spiritually aware, your priorities shift. Things that once consumed your attention no longer seem as important. You crave purity, truth, and God's presence more than temporary pleasures. This change of heart is evidence that God is reshaping your desires to align with His purpose. He is preparing you to handle blessings with wisdom and humility. By heightening your spiritual awareness, He ensures that when the breakthrough arrives, you will not be distracted by worldly noise, but instead remain focused on His calling over your life. Growing spiritual awareness also creates deeper gratitude. You begin to see God's fingerprints in everything: the sunrise, the kindness of a stranger, the unexpected provision in a moment of need. These realizations remind you that you are not walking alone. God is actively involved in the details of your life, and your heightened awareness allows you to celebrate His goodness daily. This grateful posture not only strengthens your faith, but also prepares you to steward greater blessings, because you already recognize that every good gift comes from Him alone. Another sign of this awareness is a stronger conviction within your spirit. You may feel a pull away from certain people, habits, or places that no longer serve your purpose. It may feel uncomfortable, but deep down you know it is God guiding you. This sensitivity is His way of shaping your path. The closer you walk with Him, the clearer the distinction becomes between what draws you nearer to His will and what pulls you away. This conviction is not condemnation. It is God's loving hand leading you into transformation. Your awareness also grows through unexpected revelations. A verse you have read many times suddenly takes on new meaning. A sermon speaks directly to your situation. Even casual conversations can feel like divine messages. These moments are not random. They are proof that God is aligning your heart and mind with His truth. When your spirit is awakened, you notice that He has been communicating with you in countless ways. This deeper awareness equips you to recognize opportunities, make wise choices, and embrace the life-changing shift He is preparing to bring. Ultimately, spiritual awareness is God's way of ensuring you do not miss His move. He heightens your senses so you can see, hear, and feel His presence guiding you into a new season. This awakening may come with moments of conviction, clarity, and even challenge, but it always leads to growth. By making you more spiritually alert, God prepares you to recognize when He opens the door of change. What once felt ordinary suddenly feels sacred, and you know deep in your heart that transformation is near, ordained, and unstoppable.